Coincidence? I think not. In his new book Endgame, Omid Scobie criticizes every single member of the royal family except for Harry and Meghan. I wonder why that is. Hello everyone, welcome back to the King YouTube channel. Today, I came across an excellent article in The Times written by Hilary Rose. The headline is Brace Yourself for the Royal Revelations in Omid Scobie's book Endgame. No one escapes criticism except Harry and Meghan. Now, I love her writing style. She is wonderful with the snark. She knows what she's doing. And she's 100% correct. I mean, what was Scooby-Doo thinking, going after everybody in the royal family except Harry and Meghan, as if it was not going to be obvious that the two of them gave him all that information? Hilary writes, here we go again. 3 years after the fawning finding freedom about Harry and Meghan, along comes Omid Scobie with more royal guff. Endgame is ostensibly about the whole royal family. From what I can gather, though, the Sussex circus is back in book form, and the Montecito Worldwide Privacy Tour, lampooned in South Park, is in headlong pursuit of a quiet life once again. She points out how hypocritical it is of Meghan to claim that she never wants to come to England again because she doesn't want to get caught up in the royal soap opera, when in fact, Meghan Markle got her start in Hollywood as an actress in a soap opera. But now she's too good for all that, she's above it all. Meghan Markle is the soap opera. Hilary also points out it's worth recalling here that Scobie and the Sussexes routinely deny that they're in cahoots until they are compelled to admit the opposite in court. During one of their interminable bouts of litigation, it transpired that Meghan wrote briefing notes for an aide who was meeting Scobie while he was writing Finding Freedom. Harry discussed the importance of, on the one hand, making sure Scobie knew their innermost thoughts, and on the other, not telling him themselves. It's the briefing equivalent, she writes, of look, no hands. Honestly, it's stuff like this that makes me believe that mentally speaking, Harry and Meghan are about 10 years old, if not even younger than that. I mean, who above the age of about 10 is going to think that this ridiculous strategy is going to work? Who do they think they're fooling with this? But anyway, Scooby-Doo is claiming that he barely even knows them. He hasn't spoken to them in about 4 years or something, even though he was among the very small group of people who gathered together at Buckingham Palace to bid Meghan farewell after her last turn as a working royal on Commonwealth Day back in 2020. Hilary also discusses the unfair treatment of Catherine in Scooby-Doo's book. She writes, the subtitle of the book could be Kate Gets a Kicking. According to Meghan, sorry, my mistake, Scobie, Kate spent more time talking about Meghan than to her, and is terrified of doing anything except smiling for photographers. This is an odd charge to level at someone whose job is to smile for photographers. Apparently we, you, me, him over there, infantilize Kate, and she is cold to people she doesn't like. And I expect in California they're warm and friendly to people they don't like. I mean, it's stuff like this that makes the claim that Meghan and Harry didn't help Scooby-Doo write this book so completely ludicrous. Everyone except Meghan describes Catherine as being down-to-earth and warm and easy to relate to. You can even see it in photos from when Catherine is doing engagements, how easy it is for her to talk to people. She gets along well with people. It's just Meghan she doesn't like, for good reason. Scooby-Doo writes about deceptions, malice, and defensive posturing, but he's not talking about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry and Meghan. Instead, he's talking about everybody else in the family, which doesn't make a bit of sense. He also wrote, again, not about Meghan and Harry, I saw just how far they would go to save their own skin. I've got to agree with Hilary here. I mean, these words would make a lot of sense when applied to Harry and Meghan, but the rest of the family? What is he talking about? He also wrote, I've witnessed the human damage done because of it. Okay, if we want to talk about human damage that has been done because of somebody's actions, it's Harry and Meghan we are talking about here. It is not the rest of the family. They haven't done anything to the two of them. For the past nearly 4 years, they have taken hit after hit after hit and haven't fought back. Scooby-Doo also brags on Meghan and Harry for doing school runs. Okay, it's William and Catherine who do the school runs. We have no evidence whatsoever that Meghan and Harry even have any children. And then he also writes about how Catherine has successfully sublimated her authentic self, becoming an enigma to the public and perhaps even herself, even though that's not a bad thing. Again, why is he trying to criticize her for the things that are going to make her a perfect queen? Now, I'm sure privately, Catherine still has a very strong sense of who she is, but as a public figure, she's supposed to be a bit of an enigma. That's kind of the point. Hillary also addresses Scooby-Doo's claim that Charles was so worried about his brother Prince Andrew's mental health. She writes, "I don't believe for a moment that Charles had tearful, sleepless nights worrying about Prince Andrew's mental health, not least because I doubt Prince Andrew ever suffered from anything more than an excess of self-pity. Scooby almost has a point about the monarchy being in trouble if young people aren't interested in it, but the thing about young people is that they tend to grow up." It sounds like the book contains a lot of information that is about Meghan and Harry actually, but Scooby-Doo takes Meghan's lead and tries to twist everything around and make it seem like William and Catherine are the ones doing all this horrible stuff. We're not fooled. I mean, come on. We know way too much already. We know about the bullying of staff. We know about the high turnover rate. We know that Meghan Markle is a horrible person and that nobody wants to work with her. This is something that Scooby-Doo cannot make us forget, and trying to project these nasty qualities onto William and Catherine isn't going to work either. As Hillary writes, having said all of which, remember the Duchess' difficult jibes leveled at Meghan, the stories about high staff turnover during her blink-and-you-miss-it tenure in the royal family. Apparently, Kate has quietly gone through 5 private secretaries in 6 years. And remember Harry's accusations of unconscious bias and William's "we are very much not a racist family." Well, when Will and Kate welcomed the Obamas to Kensington Palace, there was an oil painting on the drawing room wall called the Negro Page. Wowzers, someone plonked a lamp and a plant pot in front of it, and the photo the next day was of the President and First Lady meeting a toddler Prince George in his dressing gown. Endgame? I doubt it. I think the royal family will be with us for a while yet, and I think the residents of Montecito who style their children Prince and Princess are banking on it. I do love that last point that Hillary makes. I mean, if Meghan and Harry really believed that the end of the monarchy was coming, then why would they be so obsessed with holding on to those Duke and Duchess titles, and why would they be so obsessed with getting Prince and Princess titles for their invisible children? If they really believed, as Scooby-Doo is claiming, that William could be the last king, why would it matter? Why would they still be so desperate to connect themselves to the royal family? Well, I think I have an idea of the answer. It's because Meghan and Harry know this is a load of bull. Back in 2020, they got too big for their britches. They thought that they were so popular, everybody loved them, they could be more successful if they were not a part of the royal family. So they pitched a fit in the floor like a couple of toddlers, they ran away to America with this "we're gonna show them" attitude, and just look at what has happened. They have fallen flat on their faces. So now they've got buyer's remorse, and they're looking for a way to come back. Well, after thoroughly trashing the royal family for almost 4 years now, there is no way for them to come back. They've already burned all those bridges to a crisp. So what is left for them to do? I guess they figure they've got nothing left to lose, so they might as well put their mouthpiece up to publishing this spite-filled book full of petty lies. Is it going to make them look any better, though, in the eyes of the royal family? Is it going to give them a way back? Absolutely not. Is it going to help their reputations in America or in the UK? Again, absolutely not. All it's going to do is further cement their status as pariahs. And I don't believe that's what they want, but it seems like they are so arrogant and so stupid they cannot get out of their own way. And you, what do you think of this piece? Please let me know your opinion below in the comments section. If you enjoyed our video today, please don't hesitate to like and share it with anybody else who would appreciate it too. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.